Mr. Contest Chair, fellow Toastmasters, and friends. I've heard it said that the only constant in this universe is change. But I'll take that a bit further and tell you that all that you are, or all that you think you are or ever will be, you already are. Your challenge is to take things out of the abstract and bring it into the world of a concrete so it's there for everyone to see. When I was a youngster growing up, I was a real hothead. If I didn't get my way, I'd get mad at the drop of a hat. And I had a unique way of venting getting my frustration out. What I would do is I'd get behind the wheel of a car. Ladies and gentlemen, it wasn't pretty. The world wasn't safe when I was behind the wheel. I had a favorite street that I would go down. Is anyone here familiar with the Danforth? You know, there are cars parked on one side. It's a two-lane in one direction, but there are cars parked on one side, and you have to drive in the one lane. Well, when I was going down the Danforth, everybody cleared out of my way. I darted in and out of traffic. And pedestrians, well, they could spot me a mile away. It was so horrible, to tell the truth, that my parents, when they drove with me, you would swear church was in session. They would sing, "Just a closer walk with thee," because they feared for their lives. Now, especially on a Saturday morning, that was the most disagreeable thing in my life that I had ever had to do, was to go to Nob Hill Farms. Did anyone know Nob Hill Farms, the supermarket? And I'd have to stand in the chicken line. And I said, no. So when I was en route, I would race like a bat out of hell. And the loudest you'd sing is the fastest I would drive. Now, as for friends, when we were going out, they took their lives in their hand each time they got in the car. When we got to our destination, their knees were so weak it would buckle. Just the sheer thought of what could have happened, the near misses and the accidents that could have happened, were it not for the other party who didn't want to get hurt. Now, Metro's finest and I had a great relationship. The boys in blue, I would speed and they would chase me. One night, I was racing down the Danforth, and an officer was going in the opposite direction, saw me, and made a U-turn, and the race was on. Eventually, I lost that race. He caught up with me. License, ownership, and insurance. Get out of the car! Before I knew it, he called for backup. I was tossed in the back of the cruiser, taken to the station, and booked for dangerous driving. After I was released, I said, "Who's going to take me back to my car?" I said, "Find your way back." Now, at this point, you would think it was time for change. Now, they can't tell me what to do. So I made my way back to my car, and I picked up right where I started, racing and carrying on. Did I mention I got a ticket? Well, I had to go to court to fight that ticket. And on that, when I went to court, not only did I lose the case, but I lost my license for 1 year. Again, you would think it's time for change. No. I brewed for 1 year. I couldn't wait for the opportunity to get my license back again, because I was going to show them who's boss. And the day did come, and I got my license back. And it was business as usual. And I was just darting across the city as usual. And of course, I was chased again by another officer, and I got caught. But this time, everything changed. It was different. For the simple fact The officer politely said to me, "Sir, would you please step out of the car?" I got to lean against my car, and he came and he stood right next to me. He said, "Son, where are you going?" I said, "I'm to meet my friends." He said, "Do you want to get there, lad? What do you think?" Silence. He said, "I would give you a ticket, but somehow I don't think it would make a difference." He said, "However, I'll ask a favor of you." He said, "If you want to get to your destination alive, please slow down for my sake." And with that, he was gone. At that moment, I had a sense of clarity. It's as if a weight had been lifted off my shoulders. I could clearly see the ills of my ways. It was a slow night that night. I did meet with my friends, but it wasn't quite the same, and they knew something was going on, but I didn't explain it to them. I left early. I went home. Now, remember I mentioned my parents? After that, they noticed a change in my driving. My mother looked at me and said, "What happened?" I think she kind of figured out what had happened, but I didn't tell her. I just looked and said, "Mama, you know, it's time for change." And she just sort of smiled and looked up as if her prayers had been answered. See, that officer, his act of kindness will never be forgotten. Because there comes a time in every life when you realize that you need some help from the outside to be able to go inside, to contemplate and to reflect. I'll tell you, when that moment comes, it's a moment like no other. I'm grateful to that officer. I could say he probably saved my life. But that person that I became, I was already that person. They took that officer, helped me bring that out of the realm of the abstract and into the concrete. Again, I said, the only constant in life is change. And whatever you think you are, whatever you think you could be, you already are. And your job is to take it out of the realm of the abstract and bring it into the concrete. Mr. Congress.